Hi, in this video, we're going to talk about cooking and composing. Uh, why cooking? Well, this is as good a place to find examples of compositions as any other place. In composing functions, you want to take two or more procedures and you want to link them together in a chain. For example, in cooking, you might start off with some vegetables and you may want to chop them. So we plug into our chopping function a vegetable, and out of this function comes a chopped vegetable. And then after chopping the vegetable, what do you do with it? Maybe you want to fry it. So you put it in your wok or you put it into your saute pan and you fry that vegetable. So we have two functions here. One function is called the chopping function. The other is called the frying function. And the result of doing them in sequence is the composition, chopping followed by frying. So we have a sort of inside function chopping and outside function frying. And we compose them, we put them together. In fact, there may be some machine that already does this, maybe Ronco or whoever has made such a machine that does chopping and frying. This would be the composition of these two procedures. It's a function which chops and fries, giving you out as an output a chopped and fried vegetable. Now notice doing this, the order in which you do this is very important. If you were to first fry and then chop, so you start with your vegetable, and then we plug it into the frying function, and then we chop it later, it's going to be a little bit different result, right? Because you'll just be frying the outside of the zucchini or onion or whatever else you're trying to chop. It would be kind of silly. You wouldn't be able to get the whole thing fried. You'd only see the outside. And when you chopped it, you'd have the inside wasn't going to be fried. And that's an important thing to remember about composition, is that the order in which you compose functions is extremely important. What goes first and what goes second makes a big difference. Here, frying and then chopping. In the previous example, it was first chopping and then frying. Okay, so in M119, we also have lots of functions. Usually they involve numbers. So let's see an example like that. You might have, for example, the square root function. This is the function that takes in a number, not a vegetable. I wouldn't try this with vegetables. And out comes the square root of that number. For example, you could put in the number 2, and out comes square root of 2. But after applying this function to this 2 and getting square root of 2 as the output, we could also then throw that square root of 2 into a new function. The new function, we could, maybe it's multiply by 2. Okay, so that, what would this do to the square root of 2? It would give you out 2 times the square root of 2 if I plug it into square root of 2 in there. In general, I would have x going to the square root of x. That's what the square root function does. And then I plug the square root of x into this, I would get 2 times the square root of x. So this composition of two functions we could express as f of x is equal to 2 times the square root of x. Okay, in the videos that follow, we'll discuss more about composition, in particular about formulas and tables and graphs.